where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has hidden unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure, or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
A few years ago, I had a major breakthrough in my life when I realized that my fear was a direct result of not trusting God's sovereignty. This prompted me to study fear in the Bible. Contrary to the popular myth, there are not 365 do not fear verses in the Bible, one for every day of the year. But after studying fear in the Bible for a year, I found that if we fear God, we have no reason to fear anyone or anything else. And in practical terms, we should fear God more than we fear what He wants us to do. So many times in the Bible, God speaks to people, whether in a vision or through an angel, and starts out by saying, "Fear not." In making His covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, He plainly begins with, "Do not be afraid." And He tells them that He is with them before calling them to take a step of faith. Knowing that He is with us, the all-powerful God who is in control of every detail, the God who loves us so much He sent His Son to die for us, the God who works all things together for good. Knowing this, why would we fear? Why would we hesitate to step out in faith? Before a step of faith in the Bible, God would tell His people, "Do not fear." Usually it was because there was something fearful looming in front of them, and He wanted them to have faith instead of fear. When people were stuck next to the Red Sea, He spoke through Moses, saying, "Fear not, stand firm, see the salvation of the Lord." Think about Joshua. God told him, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened. Do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Joshua would need a lot of faith to apply that war strategy of just walking around Jericho. God started out His New Testament work by telling Zechariah, "Do not fear," and then giving him the job of being the father of the forerunner of the Messiah. An angel told Mary, "Do not be afraid, for you have found favor with God." And Joseph too was told, "Do not fear to take Mary as your wife." Just think of all that couple had to endure. The shame of her being pregnant before marriage, not to mention that these two young people would be the parents of the Messiah. That seems pretty scary to me. But God was with them, as He is with us. In anything He calls you to do, "Do not fear, for I am with you," should go without saying. If God has something for you to do, you, as Mary, have found favor with Him. He's allowing you to work with Him in His kingdom. It's something exciting, new, a journey with Him that He knows the ending and you don't. So step out in faith without fear. Put your hand in His and trust that He has something wonderful for you. In Jeremiah 29:11, God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for good and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." I encourage you, if you find yourself on the edge of a step of faith, claim a verse on fear, memorize it, repeat it as you step out in faith. Here's a few for you. Jeremiah 17:7 and 8 says, "Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord. He is like a tree planted by water that sends forth roots by the stream and does not fear when heat comes, for its leaves remain green. It is not anxious in the year of drought, for it does not cease to bear fruit." Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Isaiah 41:13 says, "For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, fear not. I am the one who helps you." Isaiah 43:1 says, "Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name, and you are mine." 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, of a sound mind." John 14:27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Psalm 27:1 says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" No matter what it is, a job God has for you, a scary medical diagnosis, a step in a new direction in your life, don't let fear be your first thought. Embrace the adventure with the Lord. Trust Him. I'd love to hear your story. You can write to me at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. This is Carla Early. Thanks for listening. And remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.